Yeah.
With an I or a Y, Mary?
I.
Let me finish. Okay, I'll text you. I'll let you know.
OCHOA.
Oh, wait. All right.
Yeah, she isn't part of the committee yet, but.
Okay.
Let me finish. Okay, I'll text you. Mr. Holland,
How you guys doing?
good man, how you doing?
Doing all right? Sorry I can't be with you there in person tonight.
It's all good. That's why we got a vice chair.
That's right.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. The time is 7:12. September 19th meeting for the Sports Hall of Fame. Marcos, would you call the roll call, please?
Okay, Ryan Holland. Right? Okay, David Oliver,
Here.
Roman Garcia,
Present.
Jim Hamilton,
Here,
Marcus Gutierrez here, and as a guest, Miriam Ochoa here. What time of the meeting called to order?
7:12.
Okay, perfect.
All right. The meeting additions and subtractions, we're going right down the agenda. If there's any additions or corrections on the agenda,
No. Don't see him.
in good shape? Yep. Next, we need to move to the adoption of the last meeting's minutes. Do we have those?
Yeah, those are the meeting minutes.
Okay, so if everybody wants to review the last minutes and put the motion to approve.
Oh,
Right here, right?
yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
One second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion is approved. Okay, under old business, membership status. I believe that would be on the membership for the committee.
Right.
Correct. So,
We do have a visiting member who is visiting us to see her interest in the committee, and then if she decides to move forward, then hopefully next month she'll be able to join us. And then we still have one vacancy after that.
Yes.
is there any procedure for the new members, the self-introductions, or would that be in order? I mean, she's in the Sports Hall of Fame.
She can
so
introduce herself.
She's famous in here. Miriam, would you like to say anything?
Sure. So I'm Miriam Ochoa, so we finally got to see each other in person. When I got approached to be part of the committee, so I grew up here, still teach at HML. I'm still very involved in the committee, and I coach volleyball for girls and boys at HML, and I just feel like I know the experiences that I had in the town of Miami Lakes under Mr. Hamilton and many of the other families around, and I just feel like I need to be a part of this, and I need to bring the students who still live in the town and still in this area involved in us
Right.
and sports. And I mean, I just, when I wrote my letter, I even talked about how much I love everybody getting together during the induction of the Hall of Fame, because I think you kind of reminisce. And it's just a really nice time, and it's really nice that everybody that has gotten inducted have had a special place in the town of Miami Lakes. And I just feel like I can bring more to the table, and I would like to. That's why I was like, let's do it.
I hope you.
Especially a female. I need to get some,
Yes.
Absolutely.
needs to get some girl power in here.
Well, hope you like it enough to join us, so. It'll be a welcome addition.
Crack you guys in this shit.
Right. So as far as the status, we are still short one member.
Yes.
Okay. So is there any recommendations so we can approach any other nominees?
My opinion, is Nico a sportsman? We could ask him,
We can ask him.
so you involved.
I don't know how big
trainer,
he is
yeah,
and
might
stuff like that.
You know,
I don't know how big of a sports fan he is. I know him in passing. I don't,
Well, remember, we have another opening.
We have one more opening.
Committee, so we need somebody that's familiar with the community and, like yourself.
I'm thinking.
So, yeah, and it doesn't have to be tonight, right? It's just that we do have an opportunity to add one more member.
Okay.
No. Okay, is there any other discussion? We move on?
We can move on.
Okay, budget and sponsorship update.
So currently, we're currently funded at $4,500 because I got Ocean Bank as a title sponsor. They submitted their check today. I have the check from the Grams, and then
The
Fred,
grams were 1,000.
yes, the Grams were 1,000. Ocean Bank was 1,500, Grams were 1,000. Miami Lakes Auto Mall committed to $1,000. So they should be depositing their check in the next week or two. And then we'll have the town
Okay, so 1,500 Ocean and what was the others?
1,000 for
Grams.
Grams and 1,000 for
From
Auto
Auto
Mall.
Mall,
The Miami Lakes Auto Mall.
Okay,
which is 7.
okay. That's 35. Oh, we
And
had
then the
1,000.
town gives us
Yeah.
1,000 in the budget.
And we don't have any carryover because we spent it all and then, right, there's no carryover.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to carry over in the.
Right, that's what I'm saying, it's just so, Miriam just.
Yeah, every year we get, every year the town gives us 1,000 as part of the parks budget. And then we have to, you know, we're responsible for collecting the rest in the sponsorship. I still need to reach out to Vicky Bakery. Were you able to reach out to Carbon?
I've reached out a couple of times. I heard back once, basically giving me the contact information for the owner, because I guess I didn't email the owner. Or I had the wrong email address, something like that. So then I reached out to him, and then I reached out again to follow up and never heard a response back.
I'll try to go by this weekend. And see
I
if
didn't catch the name, who was it?
Carbon Collectibles,
Okay.
they're new
Oh,
on
that's
the
right, you
West
told
End.
me. Right,
I'll approach Vicky again for the in-kind,
Okay.
because we also have the in-kind, that we have, obviously it doesn't part, could come out of this, but we have the in-kind of the tables, chairs and lights guy. And then we'll have an in-kind usually from Vicky with the desserts and the appetizers,
Okay.
so. You know. Do you know what we spent last year, Austin?
Last year we spent, there was about 700 residual, so approximately 3,800.
So there's about $700 left over at the end of the day. It was just town money that goes back to town. Because we use sponsor first and then town covers that last 1,000 if we need it.
Right, I'm planning on expensing that last 700 towards items that we're gonna use in this upcoming Hall of Fame, so that essentially gives us an additional 700.
Oh, cool. So technically we have a little cushion.
Yeah,
Like 5,200, right?
Yeah, so, okay.
just for the record though, because somehow I'm missing it, I thought you said there's no carryover.
there is no carryover, so I'm expensing it before October 1st. for the fiscal
Oh,
year.
okay, because I
Yeah, we can't carry over to October of next year.
Okay,
So it's technically, I mean, technically we still have the money. So like if we wanted to, let's say,
right,
order shirts for the past inductees, as long as that it gets invoiced probably before
Before.
October 1,
right.
you know, we'd be good.
What we did last year is we ordered the plaques or something. That's
Early.
That's how we.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Okay,
So that's 700 in addition to that 4,500.
Correct.
Okay.
4,500 is what we have.
For the tier there.
that's like new money,
That's new one.
new money. Okay.
Now, what do we discuss and we're gonna call people for?
I know with some cards,
Something about printing, getting a device, like.
Was it pictures or?
it was some pictures
There's pictures of the.
inductees.
And in case people, they want to autograph them or they just want to pass them out.
So we wanted to ask a suggestion, we want to say, hey.
Could
We
you
had
print
this,
this as a donation?
yeah, we could ask them that, but we tell them we want your advice, you know, you can tell them a little bit of the history, we used to do it indoors, we moved it outdoors. We want to grow it, you know, what's his suggestion, that type of thing, all
Right.
right? You want me to get him on? He says he couldn't come, but to get him on FaceTime and we call him.
Yeah, give us a few minutes before
Okay,
we
got
go there. All right, so obviously expenditure wise. Jim, I did see, Austin, did we see how much we ordered last year finally or no? Food wise? I don't think we did 125 for food
No.
last year.
A lot of people don't even stay for.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, with that type of food, I think if you go for 80, even if you have 100 people show up. 80 portions of that food is a ton, because I mean, since they serve it on the spot, if they see that they're running low or whatever, they just serve a little bit less. I mean, obviously, when they see a
Oh, okay.
small crowd, they pile on the food on the plate.
Okay.
Because I don't think we've ever even ordered 100 people. It's always been whatever we think the number is, we usually cut it in like half.
Do we have the records though from last year?
I should be able to check the invoice. I don't remember seeing a number when I checked the invoice last year. All I remember seeing is just the number of the bill.
Okay.
Did you remember a lot of people stay for the dinner afterwards?
Last year was probably the most that have stayed, and I still know there was a ton of food left over.
Yeah.
It was a.
And last year, a lot of people stayed because the HML connection,
Right.
you know, the UM,
Well, that was 2 years
No,
ago.
it was-
Now that was 2 years ago.
no,
Wasn't
but Coach Frazier was here last year, right?
Was that right?
No, it was,
Was it the year
Gray.
before?
Gray was.
right, Gary Gray,
Gray.
yeah, Gary Gray from
Okay,
HML
it
and
was last year, the better. Of you.
Stevie Blake.
But, yeah, I mean, I think if we're gonna set, I mean, we gotta set what our goal would be, our expectation would be for an attendance figure. And I would go probably 20 below that. So if we're saying 100 people, we're hoping for 100 people. I mean, again, we're
Right.
saying 10 per, minimum of 10 per inductee. We got 4 inductees, that's 40. Between town staff, committee staff, let's say another 30, that's 70. Can we realistically expect 30 people from the public? Or even if some of the inductees, because like I told Adrian's like, no, I'm gonna be more than 10. I go, well, Adrian, you're allowed 10 for the VIP area.
Right,
Anything over 10 would have to get a ticket through for free through Eventbrite, and they can come in for the ceremony.
Right.
And still eat and stuff like that, but you know.
Right.
And he goes, okay, so, I mean, realistically, so let's say we aim for 100 people. I wouldn't buy for more than 80.
Yeah, I would venture to kind of even cut that back a little bit. I think last year we struggled a little bit when people got there, everybody got there early. And it was like only one person struggling to open the wine or get a beer, and that was a little bit lax. I think a lot of people do that ahead of time. They go, they grab a little pastry, you know, they grab a drink. That I think is a little more conducive. I don't think a lot of people really stay for the dinner.
No, that's what
my
I'm saying.
opinion.
I mean, again,
I
that's what I'm
think
saying,
people
cut
have
it
a
back
drink
and,
before the ceremony starts, they mingle. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion.
no, yeah. I mean, if we have money, I would love to venture out and maybe talk to fantasy designers about possibly even paying for a bartender. I don't remember if we had a full-fledged bartender last year.
It was an employee
You did.
from the snack. We did?
No,
We did it. I know she was struggling to find a corkscrew. We couldn't find a
so,
corkscrew.
I mean, if we have the
Yeah.
money this year, because like case in point, right off the top,
Yeah.
I see us, we're $500 over where we were last year.
Right,
Because last year, Autumn only gave us 500.
right.
So if they're giving us $1,000 this year. If we can get Carbon or anybody else to give us $500 to put us at the even 5,
right,
I mean, I think that's, you know, we just gotta talk to. And that's somebody that Diego could probably put us in contact with, which would be fantasy designers or somebody like that. Hey, how can we get a bartender? To 10 drinks. Because again, it's nothing against the Optimists or putting somebody in the concession stand, but to have the wine and stuff behind the window and stuff, I mean, if we can get a little bar or something like that, where you have, you set it up in the corner or whatever.
I thought we had a little bar set up.
No, it was in the
No,
concession
just-
stand.
The concession stand open,
It
yeah.
just opened.
Yeah, it was just a concession stand window and we were serving out of there. So I think, if you wanna up the ambiance, we gotta
Right,
pay to play, you know what I mean?
so we'll get a
So
bartender.
I would think, if we can get fantasy to, give us a price, or maybe they'll even do it in kind, because they do a lot of work with the town. Get us a little bar with bartender, I mean,
I think that's even more conducive ahead of time to do that with the mingling and stuff. like
no, yeah, no, that would be during the
That's more
VIP.
conducive because then having dinner afterwards, yeah, a lot of people don't stay for the dinner, a lot of people. That mingling is what really.
Yeah, I mean, I just gotta make it an emphasis when I'm on
Right.
stage to let people know, hey, don't forget, coming up after the ceremony, we're gonna have
Right.
dinner served, it's
Right.
all in, all included. And and then last year we rushed through it a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this year that we only have 4, let's say we give them 7-8 minutes a pop, I think, is what we give them to talk. You're talking 30 minutes, so we'll be able to eat earlier also, we just gotta make sure that Orlando knows. Cause last year he got there like half an hour late. So by the time it takes him an hour and a half to cook that food,
Oh, okay,
because he cooks it there on the spot. So we
Right.
just gotta make sure that he meets the scheduled time. If we're gonna start VIP at 5:30,
yeah, because.
he needs to be there at
Yeah, that
5:30.
might have been the issue too last year.
Yeah, he wasn't done when we finished the
Right.
ceremony. There was like
Oh,
a
that-
15-minute
that-
window.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Yeah, there was like a
Right.
15-minute window last year where, that's why we rushed everybody inside to see the plaques and do the pictures and stuff. And then when we came out, that's when the food was ready.
Okay.
So we just gotta make sure he adheres to the time schedule. And if it's 5:30, then he's gotta be there at 5:30. Because once we start letting people in, I don't think you want a truck coming in where the people are and,
Right.
and setting up,
Right.
You know, I would even have them there, you know, if we're gonna start at 5:30, tell them, you gotta be here at 5.
Okay.
You know, it's just, I need you set up before doors are open.
So who's gonna contact the bartender company?
No, we'll talk now, when we talk to Tico to see if he has any contacts with Fantasy. And we'll have the town reach out, you know what I mean, and see if Fantasy can do it in kind, if not, give us a quote.
Okay,
You know, but I think if we're gonna up our game like we want to. Cause eventually we wanna make this into what, you know. I think we need to start small. I mean, I think that's a big step up from the concession stand window to a bar is a big step up, you know?
You don't need a lot.
No,
Yeah, so maybe those $700 we burn going to Costco and. you know,
well, Costco is giving us something, I think. Usually they give us
Right.
a little bit of a discount at least, so.
Well, I haven't heard back from them, so I'm planning to stop in to there and to Publix tomorrow morning to follow
Yeah,
up.
either one of those two, you grab a few.
Okay, 2 cases of wine, you're fine.
Yeah, that and, some.
I'll bring my own
that's
bottle.
it. Yeah,
So, you know, I think financially we're doing well. I think, again, you know, once we know the exact price on the tables and chairs and lights and stuff. And stuff like that, we'll know where we're at, you know, totally, because that's probably our biggest expenditure besides the food.
Right.
Is the tables, lights and chairs.
so we need to get that price.
Have you spoken to them yet or no?
I reached out and
You got an invoice already?
Minus the discount, it was 1,300.
Oh, that's not bad at all. For the lights, tables and chairs?
That's for, if I can go down, it's 20, quantity 20 of the 60-inch round tables,
So 20 tables,
15 of the 30-inch
high boys,
high boys,
and the lights.
5 light posts, 12 bistro lights, and stage skirting, 60 feet of stage skirting.
Okay,
Delivery drop off and delivery pickup included.
and the chairs are included there also, Ryan?
What's that?
The chairs are included also?
I don't see that on here.
Do we do chairs through them or does the town buy the chairs?
typically the town provides.
Oh, okay, perfect. Oh,
do you have the guy's number?
no, he already has the invoice, $1,300.
Oh, he already
with a
has.
discount.
Oh, okay, good.
It's $1,300 for everything.
Okay, I think we compare that to last year, right, Ryan?
I don't know.
Do we have what we did last
No,
year?
if this would be,
I can.
I stand corrected. This was what Austin sent as the invoice for last year.
Okay, so that's last year.
This year.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need to reach out to them just to get the same set.
I reached out earlier this week to follow up, because I sent him an email a couple weeks ago, and
Miguel,
yeah. I hadn't heard back, so I'm gonna follow
you have the cell, right?
up. Yeah, I'll sign it, just phone open.
This would confirm though that we did not get chairs from him last year.
Okay,
Who did the lighting? Who did
He
those
does.
lights? He did those lights
He
too,
did.
right? You sure he did the lighting?
Yeah.
yeah, it's on the invoice. The bistro lighting.
Okay,
I mean, I doubt they do bars, do they?
no, he doesn't.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know if he has the actual bar
I
itself,
don't think so. You could ask him, but I don't think so.
you know? Cause then, I mean, then we wouldn't have to, you know, we would just find a bartender or something.
Yeah. You know,
Ryan, what did you think about the bartender idea?
and if you have a bartender, you could actually use that little thing. It's just we didn't have the bartender.
Ryan,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm letting Marcus finish. So, so I want to paint a picture, and I think this discussion is a great discussion to have. First and foremost, I absolutely agree with you, Wilman. As far as the food goes, one serving of his food is not a standard one serving. One serving of his food is typically equivalent to actually maybe 2 servings.
Correct.
Of what goes out there. So that food does stretch very far. But that being said, I really like to make a push for the Optimist Club and the public to get there. I mean, you guys are asking, can we get 30 from the public? I'd love to have the problem of having 60 from the public or 70. from the
as would
public.
I.
So that's why I'm trying to drive this, you know, the tchotchkes, the pictures, the autographs, the whatever else we can do in order to say, hey, this is something that's exciting. This is something worth showing up. You're right. Dinner hasn't been something that's been a feature. But it'd be nice if it was something that was, well, I think Marcus, you're absolutely accurate. The appetizers beforehand, the Vicky Bakery, you know, pastelitos and that sort of thing are definitely the, more widely used, I would say, than dinner, or more widely eaten. But that doesn't mean that I don't, like, if we can push the dinner and push for people to mingle and push for people to, you know, Miriam talked about it just a few minutes ago, like that being able to come back together and mingle and have these conversations and share stories. This is the sort of thing that Miami Lakes is known for, like being a community that you can reach out to these people and these people that have experienced success and listen to their stories and listen, like ask questions and have that dialogue. So, you know, listen, my head may be in the clouds a little bit, and I appreciate you guys bringing me down to earth. I'd love to get the bartender, because I think that's only another thing to draw more of the adults, so that you're not just attracting some of the youth and some of the teenagers, but also other adults in the area. How can we drive, you know, kids from St. Thomas University over to find out more about it? How can we get people from HML, high schools from HML and from Bob Graham to attend? You know, they're too old to be in the Optimist Club, and they're too young to drink, so I'm not certainly suggesting that. But what else can we? I'd love to have that sort of dialogue as well, in addition to pursuing a bartender. What other sorts of things can we do to draw a wider audience?
I know last year Marcos mentioned trying to get the guy from the music guy from the church, Maria Lakes, to play in that VIP, some instrumental music or
Director there,
Uh,
give me the date again, yeah,
um,
what's the date again?
The date is December 9th.
Okay, you need it from what time to what time?
Well, it would be before, right? Not-
Yeah,
not
yeah.
after. So we're
5:30,
gonna start at
6:30.
5:30. So maybe at 6 or.
no, let's say 5:30. If we're gonna start at 5:30, you have them there at 5:30 to start playing some soft music in the background while people
So
make
really, just 5:36?
yeah, it's just an hour.
Yeah, I would have them come at 5, those guys set up and stuff like that. So like from 5 to 6:30, what time do you want them to stop?
6:30.
Right when we start the ceremony at 6:30.
Right.
Austin, is there a way for the town to start marketing?
Yeah.
That's important.
We need to start pushing on the marketing. I know we're 2.5 months away.
Woody the guy, Woody used to do a great job doing that. Yeah,
We have to get Claris's team on board and start, you know.
Okay.
Right.
Mary, you had suggested.
Am I allowed to ask who the inductees are?
This year here,
Yeah.
Bill Arnsparger, Samari Roll, Jose Enriquez, and Adrian Cardenas.
Ron Berry.
Ron Perry pulled out.
Oh, he did, okay.
Yes.
Adrian was.
Adrian Cardenas.
Frankie Lee,
No, he wasn't elected,
Ron Perry pulled out.
and Ron Perry pulled out.
Cool.
He was elected and said that he wasn't worthy, is what he told you.
He didn't think he.
He didn't feel it was worth it.
I gotta work on it, because he's really good guy.
Okay, so Bill Samari, Jose Enriquez.
And Adrian Cardenas.
So we have-
So we have 4.
Well, I can tell you, you're gonna draw a huge population. Are these people been told
Yes.
they're in?
Yes, everybody's been alerted.
Well, they actually haven't officially, they've been contacted that they were nominated. But they haven't, to my knowledge, been told that they're in and save the date. I mean, we told them to save the date, but we officially haven't said anything. We need to discuss that tonight.
Okay, because I can tell you the moment that you tell Jose Enriquez that he's inducted, I can tell you, forget 30 people, you get 50.
Right.
All I know that they meet only because my parents and they're his parents, they're both best friends. I can tell you that every year his state championship soccer team get together at someone's house down in the Gables, and they always, so you'll have a slew of people from him plus his sons, plus everybody else that have been,
No, and I know Cardenas told me he's gonna come
and
heavy handed.
yes.
He's young, so he's,
Yes.
you know.
And they're probably eating some food too,
Which is
you
fine.
know, the young athletes.
So- Can I ask this of Austin and maybe of Roman and some of you guys with a little bit more experience? We typically, you guys have mentioned that we don't announce who's been selected. Is there anything preventing us from announcing it, say, a month ahead of the event?
We tend not to till the day of publicly, even though you announced it last week when you were at council. So anybody who
Right.
watches the council meeting knows the class, but we don't have a choice but to do that in order for the council to give us their blessing. It's not like we advertise.
When he announced it, or was this other guy dropped off?
He had already dropped off, yeah. Yeah, he had already dropped
Okay.
off.
There's only 4.
Yeah, so in past,
Is there a
Ryan,
reason that we don't announce it though until the day of outside of the council?
is there a reason? It's just, I mean, no, not really.
There's nothing set that we can't.
No,
announce
nothing
it.
said. It's just the way we've done it for 6 years, but
Yeah.
I think to give people, and this is just my opinion, to give people a month in advance to set the date on their calendar to make it happen.
Right.
I think he's right. I mean, to say that you want to get people there, and there are people like the Blakes and even the Crays. I know like Mr. Craig, Gary's son didn't come because he lives in Jacksonville, something was going on, and he didn't have enough time to plan to come. For his son not to come, that's crazy, but it was, they didn't know, and then it was 2 weeks, and then what, and they thought, oh, it's no big deal, like, they didn't realize how big of a deal it was.
Right.
And I think he's got a valid point, like, if there's a reason why, you want people to make the plan, to make the effort to be here, then, you know, we're all adults, we all have 1,000 things going on.
Right.
Why would you not give them a good month in advance to bring, like you
Yeah.
said, you got your 10, but like, let people know so they can make it an event.
Right. We talked-
Yeah, and listen, I did get the email the other day, I think it was yesterday or today, that said, you know, sign up for this, don't miss this Miami Lakes Town event, and it was the Sports Hall of Fame. But there's something about that coming in and saying, okay, well, great, the town of Miami Lakes is having a Sports Hall of Fame, like, who's really gonna be there? I mean, you know, John Doe that played Little League, that, like, there's not necessarily a, wow, okay, this person's gonna be there. You know, this, oh, I was friends with this person in high school, I lost track, like, I followed them, or, you know, this was a coach of mine back in the day, oh my gosh, you're getting, like, their names are the draw, right?
I would even go, Ryan, a step further. If you really want to do it right, like if you do a little thing, just a little snippet of who Bill Arnsparger was, a lot of people don't even know Bill's Arnsparger, but they don't realize part of the Dolphins, Samari role,
Right.
you know, it's just like a little snippet. This is a person, you know, what they,
Right.
I think
why he's in-
that's a good thing, because you're promoting, you know, what you're doing at the event. I agree with Ryan.
No, we should.
You pick a week in either first week in November or maybe the last week in October, something like that. If we could have the mayor do something or somebody on Monday say, hey, listen, pay attention to your social media on Facebook, and I know he's busy with his other campaigns, so maybe we go a different route. But on the Instagram, hey, this is gonna be coming out, make sure you pay attention and tune in. And then on Tuesday, you know, we do Adrian Cardenas, and on Wednesday, we do Samari Roll, and on Thursday, you see what I mean? And then on Friday, you drop the name Bill Arnsparger and just do a little, you know, 20-second snippet on Instagram and on Facebook and announce the people that are gonna be there. You're gonna drive, like, marketing wise, there's gonna be buzz about, oh, I wanna tune in tomorrow to see who else is on this list, who else is taking it. And you're getting to learn a little bit about it, maybe getting clips of them or newspaper articles, this, that, or the other. It's all part of the intro to who these people are.
I want to ask Roman a question. I think, you know, without a doubt, the best marketer the town has is Manny, right? I think Manny would have no objection whatsoever to doing a snippet on, hey, don't miss, mark the calendar, we're inducting, and he's a little snippet on each one in one message. I think that would be the best marketing thing, but because, you know, when you do it 1 week, I don't think it has the same impact as, you know, Manny getting on a little video and say, mark your calendar, say the date.
He still does that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's got a podcast,
Right,
Manny
that's
loves
what
all
I'm
that crap, right?
Right.
So, and he does a brief little thing about every one of them. What do you think, Roman? You know Manny well. I think he doesn't mind doing that. Do
Oh,
you?
yeah, he'll do it.
Roman?
I'm texting him right.
Okay, great, awesome. Okay,
No, he'll do it.
and he does that very well.
This whole program is because of Manny.
Exactly. So for him to promote,
It's his idea.
the event and the people who are gonna be inducted, and he knows every one of these guys, right? He does very well with that.
Well,
Yeah,
last year he
it's
actually
the
called several of the inductees. I think he tried to reach every inductee personally. He called them. So this year, we've talked, Austin, and I, and he's already submitted something to the town that we want him to send a letter to let them know that they, you know, it's official from the town rather than from our committee. This is from the mayor that, you know, effective that date. In the past, I've actually called and actually, I thought I had talked to Gary numerous times on it because he kept calling with questions, you know. And but we told him the dates because a lot of people come from out of town. Chris Cocciani came from the Carolinas, so we had to let them know as soon as, you know, and we actually found out early through the approval of the town on the council that this class was approved probably earlier than some of the other classes that didn't get approved until much later.
Okay, so I do see it on Eventbrite that the item is already, the tickets are already available. I just looked on Eventbrite, they're there already, so.
Right, that was the email that I got.
Yeah.
Today or yesterday.
Yeah, Dave.
Considering the Miami Laker has 100% penetration of households here in Miami Lake,
Great point.
we gotta go strong with them.
Great point.
You know, Linda, I know, would be very cooperative. And whenever we want to fire the cannon on this, to cooperate with us. And as your reaction is great. At my last issue, my dog was featured and I got all sorts of phone calls.
I just told you, hey, that a boy, because I read in the my. And that gets to every single house. That's a great point.
I mean.
But it's an after the fact thing. You want to do it before time.
Oh, absolutely. Just let them know this is coming
Yeah.
and promote attendance.
Right.
I think that's a great idea because Dave's right. Every single household that's at Laker, and I really do it all the time.
Right.
You know?
So how do we actually get it to the Lakers? Is that a function that
A press release,
the town?
I could give these four. The four next I give you this to Linda and she'd run with it. She'd pick out the highlights and run with it.
With the date and everything else.
Yeah.
Promote it. I think that's great.
I mean, we can also do a press release from the town. And put it out.
Yeah, I think if Manny does that message, we do the Laker, that's gonna be a game changer.
Home run.
And we've
So-
already been proactive and done it on a date where there's no games and none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, we kind of told Optimus that they couldn't play at night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So is it official in that email that you sent the town staff that somebody's going to request it from the mayor to?
yeah, so that's the assistant to the mayor that I was emailing, and he is going to have the mayor work on it next week. He said he wants to get past the mayor's gala this coming Saturday first, and then he'll start working on that.
Joseph.
Yeah, there's
I'll reach out to Joe also and really type with Joe.
So is it a feeling of the committee that maybe we should, I mean, because in the past, I've actually made phone calls to a lot of the people that I knew and said, hey, this is coming, just make sure you save the date, and somebody else officially was gonna get in touch with
I
you.
think we can still call people. We can even try calling from here for a few minutes, just to let people know that congratulations, welcome. You'll be receiving further information from the town shortly, but, you know, please save this date. You know, and we'll be in touch shortly, you know, the town will be in touch shortly with more details. You know what I mean?
I think it's a nice touch so that we kind of make it an official, maybe it needs to be a motion, but officially that the mayor does at some point, you know, pretty quickly after the has approved it, sends out an official letter.
Like a welcome letter.
Right, I mean, because it's,
Yeah.
again, coming from the mayor, it's impressive more than even the committee problem. That's just my take.
No, I agree. I've spoken to Manny previously about possibly going on the podcast. And of course, I volunteered Jim and Miriam as they are, you know, and Dave, since they're sitting Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Just because that way we, you know, and he was receptive, but it dropped off, so I had to start pushing again. To get you guys to film, you know, one of the podcasts for his podcast, and then that will drive numbers. Because his podcast gets a amount of views,
Right.
you know, and he's very good at publicizing his podcast, you know what I mean? But the way I pitched it to him was, you know, help us promote it, and what better way to promote it than having 3 of the Hall of Famers that are part of the committee, you know, do you know, a quick, you know, to do about what it is, you know what I mean? And he was all gung ho about it.
So that's kind of in motion right now because you've already texted.
I talked to him about that a month ago.
No, but I mean, you just texted.
I just texted him now to see if he's available to talk, but he hasn't answered me.
Okay, but Jim had a motion, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim has a motion to have the mayor and town send a letter. Congratulating and notifying our four nominees. 2
Right.
seconds,
I'll second.
okay,
Good idea.
Any discussion?
I agree. I mean, I think, you know, it's to make it official has to come from the town.
Right.
We're representatives of the town. We can tell them, hey, this is coming. Congratulations, welcome. But official information will be coming from the town.
Officially, here's the
Yeah.
phone call.
This is your unofficial phone call. Officially, you'll get something from the town.
Right.
Like right now, I just reached out to Cardin and sent him a text now to get his address. Because I know he didn't
All
negate
live
this.
in-
not to be technical, real quick, okay, Jim made a motion, you made a second, all
All in
those in
favor.
favor?
Aye.
Ryan?
Ryan Campbell.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't vote, I'm not there.
Unanimous, all in favor, motion passes.
Miriam, you had a-
These 4 people live here?
Adrian lives in the Gables. Right?
No, when I say South Florida,
Yes. Well, I know Adrian does.
Well, Orange Barter's family, since he's deceased, will come from North Alabama.
And then I know Adrian's living in the Gables now.
And Samari lives in near Del Rey Beach.
To clarify, you want me to reach out or are you talking about the mayor's letter as being contact from the
Well,
town?
We can reach out tonight,
I think it should be from the
Yeah.
mayor.
but then the official letter from the mayor.
Okay,
From the town and the mayor.
okay,
From the
How
mayor.
many lakes,
congratulating the mayor.
on, you know,
I'll write
letterhead.
down the minutes there.
okay.
I think that's a
And
great
then
idea.
we just gotta get mailing addresses, Jim, for your 3
Okay,
to Austin, and then I'll get Adrian, and I'll get it to you so that when the mayor writes it, it's a form letter. All we gotta do is change the name at the top.
well, the mailing addresses are on their application.
Yeah, Adrian didn't have that, so that's why I'm getting it from.
No, but my 3 are
Okay,
on the application.
Okay.
And those are good addresses.
The inductees already know, right?
kind of.
They know that they've been nominated.
Oh.
They don't know the results of the town council.
So Jim will still notify them, but in addition, they're gonna get an official letter
Okay.
signed by Manny
Right.
and the town.
Yeah.
On Adrian, you'll contact Adrian because I don't have his.
Yeah, I'll call him now shortly. I'll call him. I sent him a text asking him for the address. So when he replies to that, I'll be like, hey, you have 5 minutes so we can have a quick conversation. And I'll call him so we can just, you know, welcome him unofficially and let him know that, you know, like we're saying, you're gonna get an official letter from the town, but you know, just go ahead and save the date. You know, I'll be in touch with you so we can get your 10 names and stuff like that. And, you know, we'll start, you know, working on the logistics of that inductee.
Okay.
anybody interested in those 2 local people hand delivering the letter?
That'd be cool.
I don't know, you said this, Manny, guys, I don't know what he does, like, or somebody could be filming it. I mean, I'd be willing to do it if I'm allowed. I'd hand deliver it to the 2 people that are locally,
Enrique, also
Enriquez and Adrian.
in
I
the
think it's
Gables.
a brilliant idea. I know, again, and Mary, I know you maybe don't know the history that I've told all these guys, but I grew up in Canton, Ohio. I am very familiar with the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's
yeah.
and everything that goes along with it. That was our annual field trip for elementary school, was the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I know we're maybe not quite on the level of the NFL.
Will you fly me up to North Alabama?
I
I'll make-
My entire childhood, bring
Okay.
some of that to this, and I remember when Joe Thomas got inducted, this last year, and they announced it, they knocked on his door, they videotaped it, I think
Yes,
that's
I
a
cried.
great idea.
I cried with Zach Thomas.
I took
Oh,
me
it's
too.
Zach
So
Thomas.
that's what I'm saying, I mean, Jose Enriquez lives down the street, like Candlewood, I'd be willing to drive there, like, we have a shirt that says Hall of Fame, and we present it, this is your letter, welcome to the club, like, I think that would
I think
be,
that's an awesome.
I think it's cool.
Very good.
I think
If it's
that's an awesome
personal,
idea.
you know, instead of we
You
get
the
mail,
reaction.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the mail takes like 2.5 weeks.
well, and then sometimes you're not
No, I
looking
think
through it, or you get it mixed up, and it's just like, oh, it's a letter, but
That's a
someone
great
knocks
idea.
on your door, and you're handing, and you're like, welcome,
Yeah.
like, welcome to the, I mean, I don't know, that's just.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Hey, Ryan, Jim says if we pay for his airfare, he'll go to North Alabama and give Arnsberger's family.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, the thing that I have learned from watching some of the videos is that you want to reach out to a spouse
Mhm.
or somebody else that lives in the house with them to make sure that they're home and available.
Right.
And not like wearing pajamas or something like that when you knock on the door.
I would be back.
Hey.
Get more viewers now.
They give them a little bit of a heads up, like,
Yeah.
hey, what time would be a good time, and then you can kind of target that drop by. And get them in the right moment, so. But I absolutely think if we can coordinate something like that, can we do something, coordinate and plan something like that before our next meeting? Not to have it done, just to have kind of a plan in place for it.
Again, it's just. Surprise, again, if we're gonna let them know it's happening, we can just schedule, I know you were saying we gotta coordinate it with a spouse or whatever, but at this point, we schedule with the person, just let them know we're coming. Whoever's gonna do it, and stuff like that, just to make sure that they're home.
Well, there's only one candidate, that would be Jose.
Adrian Cardis in the Gables. No, he's in the Gables.
Oh, I didn't know that, okay.
Yeah, he's in the Gables.
Okay,
He moved back home.
oh, okay,
Back to South Florida. He's actually texting me now, because I was gonna call him now, but he's tied up till after 9, so I told him I'll call you tomorrow.
okay,
But yeah, we can schedule that once we know we have the letters. Obviously, the 2 that are further away, those can go in the mail.
right.
I would hold off the other 2 that are local, and if we want to do this, I mean, it's,
Well, do we want, so I can just kind of get this, because if, first we'd have to get the letter, so shouldn't we contact them though, to let them know that it's official?
yeah, we need to contact the 4
Now-
inductees and let them
And we
know
still can do-
unofficially.
We still can do the personal in a couple of weeks, once we get the letter, because.
Exactly. I think we need to let them know unofficially they're in, save the date. You'll get official correspondence from the town with more information.
And then when we do reach out to them, we need a picture that they would like to have presented on the wall. And then what was the other thing? we
If
need?
they, who they're gonna be inducted by.
Who's going to, introduce, Mary would allow now, somebody that they want to introduce them. Those 2 things, those are, I'm trying to remember when we. The picture. Who's going to introduce them? I think that was it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Don't we already have the picture for Adrian and Orangeburger?
Do we have
I
Adrian?
think Orangeburger we do. Yeah,
I don't think we have Adrian. I asked him for it, but he hasn't sent it to me yet.
Okay.
I asked Samari for his and,
Oh,
he
it was-
received it, and we haven't even told to say, so. Did you want to make the call to Jose since you're close to the family? Okay, so we need a picture that he would like to have up on the wall, and I even took a prospective guy in there into the Hall of Fame, just said, hey, look at all these pictures like that, wouldn't you like to be on the wall like that? That was the day I was over there, that was Barry. Anyway, because sometimes they want to know, do I wear a uniform, do I wear a dress shirt, do I wear a polo shirt? Okay,
We need to get shirt sizes.
and that was
That was a
it,
third thing.
that there was the 3 things, the shirt size,
Okay.
okay.
So that Jim can order the photos.
Picture. I already got 2 shirts in. I don't know if they're right size. So
Hopefully,
I had to pad a couple orders, so I just threw a shirt in and saved the freight. Anyway. Pictures, size and. All right, so. Ceremony logistics, is there any other discussion on?
we were gonna call Tico about the cards.
Okay,
You wanna, Benjamin?
Okay, so we're gonna call them, we haven't printed
We've never done.
we've never done it. I think that's what Ryan was asking, how to print a program and get.
Well, programs in the past, lately, what we're doing is a QR code.
Mhm.
The town usually does it, creates the program, and then they put out a QR code. I mean, again, maybe that's something that once we set up the QR code, we can put it on the back of the card. You know what I mean? That way, when people get handed these cards, if they're sitting at a table, they can just hit the QR code and get the program on their phone.
I think last year was just like a.
Yeah, it was just like a little
frame.
paper framed on the table.
So what do you want to ask Nico? His advice on.
I'm printing cards, like picture cards of the inductees that we can give out, and people can get autographs if they want or whatnot, you know what I mean?
But he's at marketing, so any other suggestions?
Yeah, and any other suggestions to get people here, you know
But
what I mean?
I think that's a good start, like this is an idea that we have. do you like, what does he think of the initial idea? And then are there any additional ideas once he gets a grasp of what we're shooting for that he thinks might work?
And also, are we okay on Dave going ahead and make the trip to the Laker and get?
I mean,
that
do we
going?
want to get a press release first, like a town,
That's what I'm
a town
asking.
press
So,
release?
I don't know what he needs.
I don't know if Clarissa has to work on that. We need Clarissa to work on a press release.
Well, I was gonna have her push the marketing for the event. And I was gonna have her put together, once we obtain those pictures, a digital graphic and kind of shine a spotlight on each inductee on a different day.
But what we're asking, do we need to go through the town for him to contact the Laker first?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've had that Laker contact me for that interview and that kind of stuff. I don't think that's.
So do you have, but do we have enough
think-
information?
What Roman, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the end goal should be that the town should make a press release before the Laker prints the article. I think we can go to the Laker and request and begin the conversation. But I would suggest that the town needs to make a press release before it's actually printed in the Laker.
Okay, Dave could tell him that, then we gotta wait,
But we need to kind of like,
get it started so they can work on it.
But we need to get it going.
Right, we need
So
to-
so if Dave could get, if
Can you
Dave
do
has
that?
the ability to get those
Yeah.
wheels in motion.
But you give me, I got a packet here for these
Research an
things,
article.
but I don't have,
well, they're gonna give you a press release to take, but
Okay.
eventually, but on this one, it was just say to, just to tell her what we're
All right.
trying to do.
okay,
And that really, you're not giving her really anything except that we want
Hey, Tico,
space.
all right, yeah, so
can you see me?
you give me,
Okay, hold on.
give me the
Let
press
me start you in
release,
here, hold on.
and then I'll take that to let.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good.
Hold on.
and I don't have one of these packets on Adrian.
Tico, you see us here?
Okay,
Oh, you paused it.
Get the screen, because he was submitted, before.
okay,
This is, that was last year.
Okay, I'll put it here so you can see everybody.
There you go.
okay.
What's going on? How are you? Good, man. A question. We want to pick your brain. We know you do a lot of marketing, a lot of stuff that in that realm. We're contemplating for the first time as we're trying to build attendance numbers to this event. We were contemplating trying to print out, I wouldn't say like a trading card or something in that size. I don't know, 4x6, 3x5. Again, that's why we're coming to you to see what your thought process would be. Something that we can hand out as people come into the event. And like in the case of a couple of the inductees that will be there with us, if people want to go up and get an autograph, they can get an autograph on this picture, a card or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So is that something that you'd be able to guide us on, or?
Yeah, I mean, what you gotta decide is whose picture you're gonna do. I've done this before. I have a friend that competes in Olympia and we've gone to Olympia together, and they do an athlete's session, let's say, or a VIP session where all the athletes are there and they all have their pictures there and they sign it for people. You do it that way, or like you said, you can hand out something, but if you hand out something, who are you gonna hand out? Or are you gonna do one card with all the people that you're gonna have there on it?
We were thinking of doing one card per individual since it's only 4.
Yeah, you can do one per each person, and then they can have a little, wherever they're gonna be signing, they can have a stack with them, and whoever comes. So, can ask for an autograph or do that, and then I would recommend also maybe, most people you can do that, and maybe selfies with the person, offer them a selfie. Let them do a picture with the person, or put I'm gonna think of, but there's companies that do that, but that might be overkill, doing all QR code where the people scan it and then they get their picture. That's not necessary. I would like to send a card, but maybe a little bit bigger than a baseball card, maybe something more like what they, the models and stuff use, or like a 6x9 maybe, or. You can put the picture of the person on one side and then they can autograph it. So you can have them there with silver Sharpies, and then if the picture is dark, they can, use a silver Sharpie. That's kind of a cool thing because it stands out.
And then maybe on the back,
Sharpie and
and then on the backside, maybe we can do the logo for the Sports Hall of Fame and maybe the QR code for the program or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. If you're gonna have a program, that's a good idea. You put it there so people can scan, take QR and then take them to the program. You could also have little, just cards that you hand out to the people and tell them this is the program. And the program is a QR code, instead of having to print a program, they give them a QR code and then they can see the whole thing that way. I've seen that done before.
And something like that, let's say a 6x9, what would we want, like 30 or 40 per person, Jim? What do you think?
Probably 30, I mean.
So let's say 120 cards total. What would something like that run us?
Oh, that's very little. Don't worry about that stuff. You guys just focus on getting the pictures of the person, the extra information you're gonna put on there, and then get it to me. I'll take care of the cards for you.
Okay, awesome.
What about a suggestion, just an idea, because like you said, this bill, he's passed. The parents, you think the family's gonna wanna sign cards for people?
Yeah, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't, so then you're
So really
making
now
cards
it's
for
3.
40
Yeah.
40 people, and then they're not gonna sign for them, so I don't know. And then, again, what happens if, when they have it stands, let's say they've had it at, like, I've seen it at graduations or 15s. Let's say you have a collage of pictures or a picture of the person, like you said, the QR code, the town seal, the Hall of Fame seal, and then like, there'll be a ton of people wanting to talk to them, but maybe you can write a message, like that person would write a message to the inductee and then they take it with them. And then while they're home, let's say I didn't have time to talk to Hamilton for that long, but I wanted to write him a message, or Stephen Blake last year. I'd write a message and then the inductee goes home with like this momentum
Right.
of messages from people. I don't know, just a thought.
So then you say, in that case, then you're saying that we do one sheet with all 4 of them on there.
Well, you do like let's say a poster size that's on an easel, and it would be that person. And so like, what you were saying, like people are gonna come, they're gonna have cocktails, we're gonna have appetizers, and the 4 inductees are on easels for pictures or collage, if we can get enough pictures of each of them, maybe a plain one, maybe something. And then you have the Sharpies there, but people can go up, look at the pictures, and then they can write a message on it for that person. Cause I know one year we had the photo albums out on the
Right.
picnic table. I
Yeah,
think that was
yeah,
the first, one of the first years,
Right.
and it was nice to look at it, but it was dark and no one saw it. And then that way you get people mingling around where you want them to go. Food, drinks, see the people. I don't know. I'm just saying, cause I like the card idea. I just don't know, like if Jose Enriquez would be, why would he sign a card?
Right.
Who would want that?
Right.
In my opinion, again.
I think it's more for like Samari Lowell, who is the actual NFL
Right.
player.
Cards.
Yeah,
and-
but
and
then
coach,
you
maybe.
do one, you don't do the others, that kind of guy. Yeah, we're kind of picking your brain too, Tico, because we're trying to,
Promote it.
how do we get the Hall of Fame, our annual event a little more. Hey, I want to go to that again next year, that type of thing. Because the people that come love it. It's just a lot of people don't know about it and they'll come. Right, except the family and the friends.
Correct.
So we kind of want people from the town, so we kind of wanted to do 2 things, pick your brain a little bit and.
Do
I'm
you
kind
guys
of
have
a
social
nerd.
media or no?
No, we go through the town social media.
Okay, then yeah, you just gotta promote it through the town. Do some ads, some social media posts, give it to them as soon as possible and tell them to post it for you periodically. That's because they have about 17,500 people on their Instagram that see it.
Yeah.
I would do that a few times, maybe even make a video commercial and give it to them and let them play that.
Yeah, we're hoping to talk to Manny about that so that Manny can do something for us, so we can post it on the town's website, on the town's Instagram.
And Dave's gonna go to the
Yeah, on the
Lakers.
town and on his.
Yeah.
We can put it on his, you can put it, I can do it, once you get that done, I'll give it to the chamber, post it out in the chambers, they got about 3,000.
So Tiva, if we wanted to do
The Laker,
go ahead.
no, I heard somebody mention the Laker, would the Laker put an ad for you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, Dave's gonna take care of that, yep,
An article.
an
Yeah,
article.
that's the only way, around town, I mean, the only other more aggressive way to do it is to like mail a postcard to everybody, but that can be very expensive.
That's expensive. So Tico, if we went with Miriam's idea, what size poster do you think we would need to do?
Well, you're gonna, I didn't understand the idea 100%, but if you're planning on like having multiple posters, you're gonna need easels and then, 24-36 poster mounted on forward.
Right, correct. but
And then
you
for
would
people to
pour
sign,
one per
people to write
person.
notes to the inductees, and then the inductees can take them home with them that night.
I mean, you can do that. I don't know. You just put a little note there, leave a note for your inductee,
Yeah, I mean,
then just leave it there and then people can go up and do that.
Ryan, how does that sound to you?
That's easy.
That's easy for you?
I think that sounds like I like the idea, and I'm familiar with it, so it's kind of like when you Mary mentioned King Day, but when you go attend like a wedding and you want to sign the guest book, right, I mean, even if you travel and you're staying at a B&B,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of times they got a little guest book to sign, but instead of doing a guest book, because it's a little more congested and being outside in open space, it might be a little bit more cost efficient and effective just to do a large poster board. It makes sense to me. But I think Mary brings up some interesting points that I like, and Marco, you did too, to for somebody like Samari Roll, that may hold less value because I don't know how many people, I don't know, I may be totally wrong. I don't know how many people are gonna say something to Samari Roll that's going to be impactful to him, whereas Jose Enriquez, it's gonna be, that may be the most valuable thing that he could receive. Whereas, signing autographs, it could be the other way. So it's an interesting scenario, because I think both ideas are valid for different candidates. And so I don't know. I'm still, if I'm being honest, I'm still kind of mulling over where I land on it, and if I can come up with another idea to kind of incorporate both.
I think with the autograph deal, though, I was concerned a little bit about if you have three people that really have no meaningful reason to sign autographs, and you have one that would. I don't know if it would be, kind of awkward. Because, it's almost like you feel, I'm less important because I'm not signing autographs, and the other guys, they're with 20 people signing autographs. So maybe the poster idea kind of eliminates that.
I mean, we can always do the cards and just hand them out, not for autograph purposes. It's just, maybe they're, instead of putting the QR code, we can put the logo and then their little bio that we wrote up for the council. Or what's gonna be on their plaque,
Right,
put that on the back.
like a baseball card.
Yeah, like there's a little bio with the picture in the front and the Sports Hall of Fame logo in the
Yeah,
back of
because
the plaque.
they may want to take those back and give it to their friends, even though nobody took it. Here, this is.
I think if you have a few of those programs that you scan in the QR code, right? And I'm looking at somebody that participates in the event. And there's a few little programs hanging out somewhere, and I go, holy cow, I want to get some, there's autograph. I just grab it and there's autograph.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I
do. That's like,
Instead of doing individualized cards, it's a generalized.
Yeah, and he
program
was
for
there,
both
hey,
of
man,
them,
I was there, and and he signs, no one's gonna feel bad, well,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm looking at it from the perspective of my kids too, and I know they're 8 and 10, so they're young, but we just went to a Marlins game last week, and it's like, they didn't care who they got an autograph from. They wanted one from the Marlins, they wanted one from the Braves, and they wanted one from the mascot, they just like the idea of getting an autograph from somebody that they're seeing as a celebrity. So that may be the perspective that I'm looking at it from, but I think to that end, Marcus, you bring up a good point, and it's almost more valuable to say I was there, I got the program, and I got the program signed.
and I went over to him and got a signature if you so choose to, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
okay,
We do a 4-page pamphlet with the 4 pictures inside, with the logo outside, with the story in the back or something like that. It's like a one program that has everything in it.
Yeah.
That way everybody grabs one. It's not somebody staying with a stack of cards and the other one's empty or something like that.
true.
Right.
Okay, so we'll head that route, and then Diego, we just gotta get you the layout. We have to prep it for you, or
No, I'll do it. Just get me the
Pictures and the words?
the logo and anything else you're gonna put on that program. Give me all that content. Don't worry about the layout of the design.
Okay,
Thanks, Tico, I appreciate it, buddy.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Tico.
Okay.
Nos vemos el sábado.
And I'm sorry, because I said gentlemen, but I heard.
Yeah, we have a new prospective member who is a Hall of Fame inductee herself. She's an enshrinee herself.
I love it. All I see are blurry guys, but I do recognize Jim's blur right there.
Hey, Tico.
I'll see you Saturday, brother.
It's,
All right.
call me if you need me and then send me information, I'll get it done.
We got you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
So we'll get programs through him. I think that's the best route. You know,
That was a good call.
yeah. No, and that's why we have to pick his brain because he that's what he does. He does marketing.
Right.
So
That was a great idea.
no, that's a great idea. You know, and again, like we say, if somebody does want to get an autograph, they'll have the program. If Samari wants to sign an autograph, go ahead. Or EG wants to sign an autograph, go ahead. We're not forcing them to do it. It's their call.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's their
So
call.
we'll have one for each inductee.
Well, it's gonna be a program
That's a program and the 4 pictures.
and with the 4 pictures and the 4 bios.
Okay.
So someone.
And then we'll write, I can
Oh,
write
okay, so
something
it's
for the
gonna be-
back
okay.
on the history,
Yeah.
like the back page, we can do the history of the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And we'll put it, you know, the logo with the date, and that's gonna be the program that we hand out as people walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, and if.
So we'll put it on the
someone
table for people to grab.
go
as they
over
walk in.
To somebody and say, hey, Samara, sign your picture for me.
Right.
You do that, but you don't kind of force to make it awkward.
Mhm.
But it's like when, and Jim, I might be dating you a little bit, but when you got that, high school yearbook and you went around and had all your friends sign next to the picture.
Right. For sure.
You know what I mean? And so you go up to the athlete, they sign next to the picture, their bio, and
That'll be really good. Okay.
you get all 4 signatures.
Well, you can't get all 4.
Cool. No,
But you can't get all 4.
But no, you can't get all 4, that's right. Yeah.
If you get all 4, you're doing well, bro.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the program idea. We're also gonna execute Miriam's idea as well with the poster.
Yeah.
That we can go over.
If he's willing to do it and,
Yeah.
you know,
Roman,
Okay.
we're gonna do both.
We'll do both.
What?
The poster idea, so people will leave a message and the program thing.
I know where he came from with the whole poster idea. What happens to the person that doesn't get a message?
That's the one thing that.
I mean, if we want to do posters just to,
But
if
how would
he's
they
with,
know?
No, because they, no,
But-
you-
But how would they know if they didn't, I mean.
no, because they take that home with them when they go, if they choose to, right?
Oh, yeah,
Somebody
okay.
goes and writes a message, because we're saying, what do we do? And Miriam came up with that idea because the cards were kind of odd, right?
right.
Like, let me grab a baseball card and take a baseball card.
Well, yeah, if it's like that, like athlete wise, I want somebody's autograph, but if I'm not. And again, look, if we think it's odd and let's say someone's not gonna sign, I don't know, somebody's, because they're not familiar with them. We're a part of a committee, there's at least how many of us,
Right.
10, we have to start it.
Right.
We start that and right, even if it's to the family, you
Right.
know, thanking them for something. Even if you did that, we're starting it and then people see the idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we kind of have to spread the word to remind people, hey, you know, just
I think we should
I
do
don't
it
know.
because if it doesn't work, then we don't do it again.
if it's
But
not gonna
if we don't
cost us a
ever do
lot,
it,
if
then
he's gonna do it, it's
we
not
don't
gonna
know
cost
what
us,
the reaction
try it. You know, like you said. Some things will work and some things won't, and you learn.
I think it's worth.
Yeah, I think it's a
trying.
good point. We're not gonna get everything right this year,
No,
but let's learn, let's take some chances.
so then we want him to do the posters also?
Yeah.
Again, and then again, the posters, again, whether people sign them or not, we'll make that decision
Right,
in the future, whether we open that up. Cause again, like you say, who's gonna sign, no offense to Bill Arnsberger, people don't know who Bill is.
right.
They know the name, they know the lore, the 72 Dolphins, defensive coordinator, all that stuff, but who's gonna go up and sign, hey, congratulations, he's passed,
Right.
you know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I'm all for having posters of the 4 individuals so people see them in action. 'Cause yeah, we put them up on the wall with their picture, the picture's this big. We show them the plaque when we hand it to them. People in the audience can't see that plaque because it's too
Right.
far away.
Right.
So even the same picture that we use for the plaque, we can do it on a 24x36 poster
And put it on easel.
and put it on an easel.
and while
Maybe the
people are
town should have
reading,
easel.
they're
Yeah.
reading who that is, and if you're inviting the community, the town, and I don't know who that is, or I didn't know what he did.
You can
While
read
we're
about it.
mingling, you go by and you look at the poster.
That's
you read it.
I would even do
That's a good
whatever the
idea.
plaque looks like.
The Lawrenceburgers family, would want somebody to read that, they have no idea the Dolphins even went undefeated. Well, everybody knows the Dolphins went undefeated. But they don't know he was the defensive coordinator, right? You don't know the Dolphins went undefeated?
He's too young.
No, they never lost a game. The only team in history never lost a game.
So, I mean, again, and this is something going forward in the future that we can provide to the inductees, like we're doing with the shirt.
Right.
And it's something that we can give them and they can take with them at the end of the night. You know what I mean? I think it's just, it gives them a little bit more nostalgia, besides the little plaque that they're gonna get, that they can stay at home. Now you have this poster, which again, I would even venture out to do the same design as the plaque on
Right,
a poster.
I would. I think
Basically,
so.
the plaque, blow it up.
Yeah, because they don't see the pictures
Yeah.
unless they go inside, so this will give a chance to see it.
You know, on a 24 by 36, I would say, 12 by 12 picture in there, and then the text that we put on the plaque wrapped around it. And you make it, a bigger, basically the plaque itself blown up. So that people can read it if they want, you know what I mean? And then they can take it with them at night.
Would you want that outside?
Yeah.
Okay, cause I know that
We want them
last,
outside, there's 4 of them, right?
I know that last
Well,
year,
it's
like,
not raining.
the humidity, the chairs started to get wet in the tables, so I'd be worried about.
Yeah, but these are gonna be on foam poster boards.
Okay.
They're gonna be on foam, so they're gonna be on hard.
Underneath, but they need to put them underneath where the light
Underneath,
is.
yeah, underneath
It's
the,
gonna be in the, in the concession area,
yeah,
right?
depending, I mean, again, if we're gonna have a bar, so we're not gonna be using the concession, in front of the concession window, we can put the 4 of them
That's
underneath.
what I thought they'd be. If we want to move them out later.
It's December, it should be halfway decent, and again, you want people to like move around.
Right.
You wanna put the food and you wanna be at a high top. I just remember last year and the year before, it's like everybody congregates in like one area. And it's just like amoebas, right?
Yeah. Right.
Where they're not, so that way, like you're saying, if you're gonna go, it's like a gallery walk. You're going to visit each person, read about them, you're having your cocktail, if you have the bartender outside. And then you're mingling and then you see somebody
Right.
and then that's where you start getting that, again, the community involvement where people are talking with each other.
Right. Ryan, did you want to interject? I keep forgetting that you're here.
No, I'm good. I like where this conversation's going.
Okay. All right, do we have any more under new business, adoption of additions to the ceremony? It sounds like we've kind of merged both of these ideas together. Adoption of additions to the ceremony. Is that anything other than what we've been discussing?
Well, I mean, I looked into lights at the ground level and basically there are 2 options. You have the freestanding solar powered, which can be unreliable based on the weather. And then the other are corded lights. I don't know if that would be an aesthetic deterrent.
Now, these lights are for what now?
If we're bringing that backdrop, the step and repeat, outside. To be able to better light people's faces
Okay, for the pictures.
for the pictures, yes.
We were talking about an area for the pictures that. Anybody's thoughts on the lighting?
Yeah, I know Ryan was concerned about the lighting with the step and repeat and stuff, but solar power lights aren't gonna be powerful enough. And the corded lights, I don't know,
There's no way they can, avoid the foot traffic with the cables.
Well, I mean, you could always use one of those things that basically looks like a small speed bump to put it over
Right,
the cords. It's just that visually, it usually doesn't look as nice as a clean look, but we
Well,
don't have any.
I think you almost have to do that though, because you only have 2 options and if one's not strong enough. I guess we have to go that route.
I think that went over and nobody.
Yeah, I mean,
whiteout pens that seem pretty useful.
Ryan, do you have a thought on that with the light? The lighting,
I think at the end of the day, we're gonna theorize. Based on past experience, but I think until we actually get out there and
Because normal way.
start moving it around, it's gonna be difficult.
difficult, you mean difficult, but we almost,
To solidify, okay, it's definitely gonna go here, because this is where it's gonna look great. Like I'd almost say if there's a way to get get a hold of the step and repeat. Maybe I'll go out there one night after one of Matthew's practices and just kind of stand around and walk around and see if I can't figure out an ideal place for the lighting or for the step and repeat to go, you know?
Didn't we already talk about the location before? I'm trying to remember what. Was it like in the third base area on field 2?
Yeah,
We talked about there. We talked about in front of the equipment room, although I think we had decided that that wasn't gonna be an ideal place.
It
And I
may be
think we
cleaner
were
than
doing
the
that.
sand.
With that,
It might be a cleaner area though than the sand around field 2 on the third base area. That's all sandy.
right,
So I would say over by the equipment room would be better. If it's well lit and we can, identify that that's where the pictures are taken. It's not that far, it's just steps away. But, if you're walking in the clubhouse and you're all sandy and dirty, that's not a good look. Eventually it will just look trashy in the clubhouse.
yeah, the gentleman that was cooking, that does the cooking for us came out a little bit. I seem to remember the first year that we did it outside. He was back a little bit closer to the equipment room, and then this last year, he had come out a little bit more
Yeah, he was away from it.
back part.
Yeah. If he stays out there, that wouldn't bother us at all.
Right.
So maybe Austin, can we look maybe at setting up the lighting over by the equipment room where there's,
yeah, we can take a look at that.
because the foot traffic and, walking out there on the baseball field is not, it's just too dirty. For tracking back in,
Right.
when anybody goes back in the clubhouse.
Admittedly, the arrangement of where things should go is probably not my strong suit. I will feed that expertise to anybody else that is experienced in kind of that design as far as flow of traffic and lighting and that sort of thing.
Okay. Is there any other additions to the ceremony that we need to discuss? Austin, do you have any?
I know we were exploring an electric generator and I've been having a hard time sourcing one, to get pricing. But I think that was the only other addition that I had. Yeah, to kind of, make it a little bit quieter when we set up the audio for the stage.
That'd be a good move.
No, because it's pretty noisy.
Last year was, I thought it was excessive.
So what, would that be part of our budget though, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I want to get the pricing on it so I can figure out if it's within budget, how many more sponsorship dollars we would need, or if we could even get some sort of in-kind donation for a rental.
The town doesn't have a generator.
We do, but we don't have gas power.
We're gonna go ahead and announce the nominees this year. That hold it in the daily event. To see if it drives more foot traffic.
Sounds like a budget item at the very least we could bring up for next year,
Okay.
just as a one-off.
Well, we want to do it this year though.
No, I know. Well, but if Austin could do a little bit of legwork for sourcing it, at worst case scenario,
You're doing a little video you put on the.
it's something that we would, but, hey, listen, the town's gonna benefit from this and all of its other events throughout the year, if we can get this for one event.
And you're still trying to find a price on,
Yeah.
on the rental part or buying one?
Well, either one. So far at Home Depot, they have 3 options, but they're all gas powered.
Yeah, but we'd have to rent it. We buy a generator for the town. I mean, that's.
No, I'm just,
Yeah.
Well, renting it's cheap too. If we're able to find something comparable, what Home Depot had with just electric instead of gas powered, the cheapest one they have is like $46 for 4 hours, or like $64 for the entire day.
So, we're looking for a gasoline powered. So what you said?
No, we're looking for an electric powered.
Oh, no,
So
They
it's
keep
quiet.
the noise there, because the one we have is gas powered.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So how about the rental place? Is there one right over here on 57.
They built the Western apartments, so that's gone. Post sold that
Oh,
land.
it's, oh, yeah, it's gone.
They sold that land, they built tons of apartments.
400 years ago, and I didn't catch
Yeah.
it. I don't know how I missed that, anyway.
You don't go down that way.
Not anymore, I guess.
Oh, man, you know where the kennel is? They built all sorts of apartments everywhere.
Wow.
Remember the Salvation Army? used to
Very
be that
expensive.
back there?
Yeah.
They sold that. They sold that. They sold the Greyhound.
The Salvation.
That's all gone, and they just built apartments everywhere.
So what, so we just have to
I'll
look
keep
at
that.
an electric,
Yeah,
and you're still pursuing that?
yeah, I'm still pursuing that. I'm gonna make some calls tomorrow, because I wasn't clear on what Sunbelt had to offer, but they may be a possibility.
Yeah, Sunbelt rents all that stuff, that lighting, that's.
So it's a rental, it's right, it'll fall within our budget.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
$100. I didn't know it was that cheap, yeah.
Okay, so just got off the phone with the mayor. He's on board to do the video for us. He's on board to do a podcast. With who we deem to do the podcast.
Sure.
And he's also on board, schedule permitting, to go with us to deliver the letters.
Oh, wow.
So,
Very good.
you know, I told him we have 2 local nominees, one in Coral Gables, one here in the town. He goes, let's make it happen. And I go, look, I know we'll get together next week after the gala. Once you settle down, even though I know you have your other campaign and stuff, but just so we can, we're trying to drive foot traffic to at least try to get anywhere but, 120, 150 people this year. And go building, as this is your vision, you know what I mean? This is your baby, because this is all him, you know what I mean? So who better than him to guide us through this, you know what I
He's
mean?
the best promoter.
Yeah, and he's totally on board, he says, so.
That promoting video and then we blasted, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
he said, as long, he said he came up with a perfect idea for a video. Like, one of us walk up to him and be like, here, Mayor, here's an envelope. And when he opens the envelope with the 4 names, wow, look at this class.
Right.
And then he'll talk about them.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You know what I mean? And then get your tickets on Eventbrite and we can link it below and then he'll put it on his social media also and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but I told him we'll look at that next week. The next 2 weeks, we'll get together and we'll film it with the town. We'll work it out with the town so we can get it filmed.
Great.
And then he says he's game for the podcast. I told him, look, we can get the 3 members of the committee that are Hall of Famers to sit with you for a little round table, talk about the Hall of Fame. He goes, okay. Oh, I reckon I'll-
The first Wednesday of the month or something.
Is that what he comes?
Yeah. I think he films this tomorrow. So whatever, tomorrow's what, the 3rd, right? 3rd Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd Wednesday, so we can do it for that.
So we can do it for October.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it in before, obviously, probably sometime in November. Which is still time.
So you gotta go on Spotify, Jim, so you can look at the podcast.
Okay.
I just started doing that myself, man, so it's all cool.
I watch my YouTube. I watch the podcast on YouTube, so.
Yeah.
So I think we got something there, so, we'll work with that and stuff like that. I did mention to him about the letters that you had already emailed, Joe. He goes, yeah, Joe mentioned something next week. I said, that's fine. I know you got 3 days before your gala, so I'm not, I'm asking for next week and beyond, you know what I mean? He goes, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So
So officially, we're going to make phone calls. Miriam will make it to.
Enriquez, you'll take care of Arnsparger
Right,
and
and then you'll take.
I'll take care of Adrian. And then
Right.
obviously the official will come from the mayor, the 2 locals, we can try to schedule a day, through Manny's calendar and stuff to see if Manny can go with somebody and we'll go that route. I mean, I'm tied up on Mondays and Wednesdays for the next 10 weeks, so.
Okay, do we have any other discussions on?
When do we want to meet again, Ryan?
Do we have to adopt last month's meetings in this
We did.
meeting, or if we did?
We did. Yeah, that was-
I think we had listed a couple of future meetings, one in case we needed like an emergency to figure out something.
We definitely need to meet, I would say in October to wrap up.
Yeah, all the
Things are
logistics.
flowing.
Hold on a minute, they've got it.
Yeah,
What works for you, Ryan? For a Wednesday
Wednesdays.
or Tuesday,
Tuesdays.
it's not that Wednesday for,
Oh,
which is better, Tuesday.
That's the season is starting off, I'm not familiar with when his games and practices are. So it's, I would say don't go based on me, because I'm gonna have to move my schedule more around. Our meeting, I would say. The Tuesday schedule works for me.
Yeah.
And I think that works for Dave, so.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Let me pull up the calendar here.
All right, so
October-
October 10th would be the next council meeting. Because it's second Tuesday, right? Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So do we want to go the 17th?
So let's plan on the 17th.
Okay.
Can you check the calendar, Austin, for 10/17, 7 o'clock here? Yeah. See if it's available, just and then confirm with us tomorrow.
Okay, and I will be out of town that week, so I can have Manny fill in
Okay.
for me and I can just provide him with it.
Yeah, if you can just provide the, like, what we'll need is the quotes for the food, the quotes for
Okay.
the tables and lighting and all that stuff, just so that we can go ahead and make motions to,
Yeah, you need all the quotes for
Ordering.
everything,
yeah.
if there was any. pending.
Yeah, just that way we can go ahead and make motions to approve everything, the expenditures, and then that way we can start ordering that we got here. I mean, you already gave the food guy the tentative date, right?
Yes,
I mean, the date, I should say.
yes,
Okay, so he held it for you already.
I believe so. I followed up with him yesterday to confirm. I haven't heard back, so I'll just call him tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. So we just need to confirm with the Carusel and then see who we can reach out to about a bartender.
Wouldn't he already reached out to Peter conversation?
Yeah, he hasn't heard back yet.
Right. You text him, he'll come back to you.
Okay.
Is that the bartender?
No, that's the tables, chairs and lights, tables and lights.
So who do we contact? for-
That's what we gotta figure out. I don't know, fantasy. I don't know who else would do that.
No local bars here?
No, I know a guy I use in my house when we have big events. He's a young guy, you know, if you got enough people come to him, his dad isn't charging very much, just like $150, something like that. You know,
Yeah, the thing is, we need to find somebody where we can get a bar.
Yeah, well, I'll ask him.
Yeah, if he's
The
got a,
bartender probably has access to a bar. I would think, If he's in that business. Maybe you can ask him.
yeah, little square, little, like a DJ brings his little stage.
Most of the guys they don't have the bar, they just go 10 bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they go to events,
Yeah.
they go to a banquet hall, they don't carry a bar. Yeah, that's a challenge.
yeah, but again, I mean, ask Fiesta, maybe they can tell us.
Can you ask Miguel?
Yeah, ask him to see if he has access to it,
Yeah,
If not, they still could use the concession window because it's
Yeah,
like a
we'll-
bar.
last case scenario, we use that. We just gotta make sure we're better prepared with things, the stuff wasn't cold, we would put it in ice, then we couldn't find a corkscrew, that type of stuff. I'll make sure you have Miguel's cell number before we leave.
Okay.
All right, motion to adjourn,
Second adjourned.
who second?
I-
Okay,
For Dave,
okay, what time is it?
8:34.
Wow, last time was 8:35.
Yeah, the house will be ready in 6 minutes. Not that I'm hungry or anything.
Nah.
It's 6:46.
All right, Ryan,
Think of those.
Thank you, Ryan.
feel better.
I'll look tonight.
I sent you about
Hope to get you
5 or
better.
6 of them.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
I mean,
All right,
just go in there,
Right.
and then in the bar, just type in men's sneakers and
See all the-